afternoon, I'm Raine Musñgi. This is Newsfeed. PNP spokesperson Police Colonel Jean Fajardo says the members of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ are allegedly harming themselves to frame the police for the supposed excessive use of force. KOJC supporters also allegedly harm PNP officials using fire extinguishers, foul language, and other forms of foul play. However, Fajardo adds they are still waiting for the video to verify these allegations. Earlier, the PNP denied locking down entry points into the city to prevent people from joining the pro-Quiboloy rally. Protesters at the compound secured a permit from the city government for a prayer vigil. However, the PNP says the rally is no longer in accordance with the permit, deploying police to do a forced dispersal. But Quiboloy supporters say they will not leave the premises while the police are there. For now, the hunt for Pastor Quiboloy continues in the 30-hectare compound. Fajardo says the PNP is mainly focused on heartbeats that are detected underground. Quiboloy is facing charges of human trafficking and child abuse. Attorney Ferdinand Topacio, one of the lawyers of Pastor Apollo Quiboloy, insists the PNP cannot stay at the Kingdom of Jesus Christ compound in Davao City. The PNP has been in the compound since this weekend to serve the warrant of arrest against Quiboloy. Speaking to BNC's At the Forefront, Topacio says the PNP taking over the premises and staying there is illegal. He also blames President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. for the standoff and tells him to call off his dogs.
There is a warrant, no doubt about that. But we all know as lawyers the legal principles involved in serving a warrant of arrest. Meaning that, of course, you can go into any property if you have good grounds to believe that a person who is subject of a warrant is there. But you cannot stay there. You cannot take full possession of that property. Definitely, the command that they will not leave until they find Pastor Quiboloy is totally illegal. And I think a lot of people have already weighed in on that. So, and I don't think that the president can escape responsibility for this brazen abuse of power because he cannot be unaware of what is happening in Davao City. It's a matter of that has attained wide publicity, and as chief executive, under whose office is the Department of the Interior and Local Government, which in turn has command of the police, then I think the most prudent course of action for the president to take is call off his dogs, so to speak, and let the regular course of things go ahead.
Meanwhile, Topacio also believes the police action in serving the warrant of arrest against Quiboloy is a prelude to the potential arrest warrant that the ICC may issue against former President Rodrigo Duterte on the drug war case.
When it comes to the ICC warrant of potentially issuing a warrant of arrest because of the ICC complaint against the drug war in the Philippines, do you think that the raid being conducted right now by the PNP in the KOJC compound is a prelude to what might happen or how the local authorities will conduct themselves should the ICC issue a warrant of arrest against former President Duterte and any of his police officials?
Yeah, it could. I would not rule out that possibility because, as I've said, the manner by which the warrant is being issued is intended to foster an atmosphere of terror and shock and sheer fear among the population of Davao City. So I think you are right there. I think you have something there when you say that it may be a prelude because President Duterte being a very popular president, we can expect public discontent to arise, a groundswell against any attempt to arrest him.
Another confrontation in the West Philippine Sea. The Philippine government condemns what it says is China's latest aggression in disputed waters. Over the weekend, a Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources vessel encountered at least 8 Chinese Coast Guard ships while on a humanitarian mission to Escoda Shoal. The boat was rammed and hit with water cannons. Manila says Beijing's action posed serious risks to the Filipino crew and the fishermen they were meant to serve. Philippines also urges China to stop provocations that destabilize peace and security in the region. Meanwhile, China says the collision occurred when the Philippine ship refused to comply with control measures. It then collided deliberately with the Chinese Coast Guard ship, adding it promptly rescued the Philippine personnel who fell into the water. The Health Department reports 2 new Mpox cases, both in Metro Manila. Health officials say the male patients contracted the virus through close and intimate contact and have been infected with a milder case of the 2 variant. They are the 11th and 12th cases since July 2022 and the 2nd and 3rd since WHO declared this year a more lethal Mpox variant a public health emergency of international concern. The DOH is coordinating with local government authorities where the new cases have been detected. 39 overseas Filipino workers and a child from Israel arrived in the country recently. They are part of those who availed of the government voluntary repatriation program from Israel due to the continuing hostilities in Gaza. The repatriates received immediate financial assistance worth 75,000 pesos each from the Department of Migrant Workers Action Fund. This batch consists of 38 caregivers and 1 hotel worker. Government has so far repatriated more than 1,000 OFWs from Israel since the conflict erupted in October 2023. Good news for motorists as a huge rollback in pump prices are expected this week. After a round of increases last week, Unioil says diesel may go down by as much as 2 pesos per liter on Tuesday. Gasoline prices are also set to drop by 1 peso to 1 peso and 20 per liter. Ukrainian President Zelensky offered his condolences to friends and family of Reuters safety advisor Ryan Evans. Evans is a member of the Reuters team covering the war in Ukraine. He was killed after a missile struck Hotel Sapphire in the eastern Ukrainian city of Kramatorsk, where their team was staying. 2 other Reuters journalists were also injured in the incident. Zelensky says the hotel was hit by a Russian Iskander missile, a ballistic missile that can strike at distances of up to 500 kilometers. Zelensky, in his condolences to the friends and family of Evans, says what happened is an everyday terror in Ukraine and goes on because Russia has the means to continue doing it. While AI and robots may soon become the farmer's best friends, that's in making sure his crops are in good health. A farming robot dubbed Claus is helping eliminate weeds without damaging the surrounding crops or the soil. Here's the report.
Meet Claus, a robot created to make the future of farming more sustainable. The prototype is designed for 2 main tasks, weeding and crop monitoring. It's a combination of artificial intelligence and robotics, and its makers say it can get into the tough spots when farmers or other equipment cannot.
Nobody really wants to go through a field weeding on a really wet, windy, cold day, so why not give it to a robot?
Claus stands for Concentrated Light Autonomous Weeding and Scouting. The robot was designed by Earth Rover. It uses patented concentrated light technology to eliminate weeds without damaging surrounding crops or soil. James Miller is the CEO of the agriculture tech startup.
So the best way of describing it is a schoolboy with a magnifying glass. So it concentrates the light onto a small focal point on the meristem, the growing point of the weed, and delivers a small pulse of energy, which is enough to kill the weed.
On the left is what the field looks like, and on the right is what Claus sees.
It takes an individual photograph and assesses the crop beneath it, identifies the crop, protects that, and then identifies the weeds around it and says, they're me, I'm targeting those. And that all happens in a split second and starts shooting at the weeds.
Miller says this method is more sustainable by reducing greenhouse gas emissions that could be released during soil disturbance. To help monitor crop health, KOJC is equipped with 8 built-in cameras. It collects real-time data using AI computer vision, which is then sent to Earth rover's farm control and intelligence system. The information allows farmers to make timely decisions about the health and growth of the crop. KOJC runs on battery and solar power and operates autonomously in different terrains and weather conditions. Earth rover has plans to deliver units to customers for testing in 2025. Commercial availability is slated for 2026.
And those are the news this hour. I'm Raine Musñgi. Stay tuned for more top-of-the-hour news here on BNC, on Free TV Channel 31, and on our website, bnc.ph. Thanks for watching.